Yo guys, what's going on? It's Catman227 here, and I'm back with another Smite video. Now, this is actually the first episode of my brand new series that I was talking about in my War Thunder video. There's going to be a few more new series yet to come, but this is going to be the first episode of the first new series, God Review. And essentially in this series, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over every single god in Smite, and there's a lot of them. I'm essentially going to learn how to play each one. I'm going to obviously start off with the ones I already know how to play, and then I'm going to review them. Now, this is not going to be a series on tutorials on how to play or what to do or what not to do. I'm just going to talk about the things that I like about the character, and then we'll discuss it. We'll talk about the character. And then at the very end, I will reveal if I would recommend this character. So, let's get into the abilities. So, I'll talk about each one individually, but I'm actually going to start off with her second and her fourth ability, which is the X and the triangle. So, and since I am playing this on PS5, that's what I'm going to be referring to these abilities by the button shapes, and not actually, because I don't remember what they are on all the other systems. So, but we're going to talk about Calder. Calder is the dog, the wolf, if you will, and you will. And what he does is he's essentially one of those characters, he's one of those abilities, because he is an ability, and I guess he's also a character. Anyway, he will attack enemies that you sick him on. So I just did it right there. Those little diamond-shaped blips above his head is actually his health indicator. So there's two abilities where you use him. One where you send him to attack, where it primarily just does damage. And the ultimate where he will get full health, regardless as to what health he's at. If you cast your ultimate, he will get full health, he will jump in, and he will root enemies to where they're currently standing, and they will not be able to move. This is good for a few different things. Now, I will stress this, if you're going to do that, if you're going to use your triangle ability to root somebody, you need to make sure that they're at low health already. And you're going to notice me say that a lot throughout the duration of this video, because Skadi is really good for picking off, I don't want to say she's a kill stealer, because in my opinion it doesn't really matter who gets the kill as long as the enemy is dead. So I really don't worry about my KD. You'll probably hear me say that throughout the duration of the series as well. So just keep that in mind as we go forward throughout the series. Kills don't matter. As long as the enemy is dead, that's all that matters. Anyway, so let's say you find somebody at low health. What I do is I will hit my triangle and I will root them to the ground, and then I will use my square, or my first ability, to throw the javelin or the spear at them. So instead of using my basic attack. So a lot of people say don't do this, but I say do this because it can secure you the kill. And especially if it's somebody like Cthulhu or Ymir, or somebody who's like a really problematic tank, or even like a warrior, like a DPS, or literally anybody. It can secure you that kill. And trust me, I've killed quite a few Medusas with this. And there's not too much that can really stop Medusa. Me being a Medusa main, I can personally assure you that there's a lot of things Medusa can do, and if played correctly, she can be quite devastating. However, if Skadi is played to her absolute maximum potential, she can very easily shut down a Medusa by just popping triangle, rooting the enemy to the ground, throwing the spear, then by the time the ultimate wears off, you could probably sick Calder, your wolf, back on her again, and then you can maybe have a teammate, like if you play in a squad, you can probably have one of your teammates, preferably a warrior, like if you have somebody like like Horus or whatever, probably Getter. Or if you have another, because some people run like Mage alongside the Hunter. So maybe you could get like Scylla or even Charybdis in there and shut her down. But even if you're on your own, if you're like a solo player like myself most of the time, and all you have is randoms, um, what I would do is I would definitely hit her with the triangle first, root her to the ground, throw the spear with your first ability, and then just spam your basic attack. And that should take her down. If you need to get away, sick Calder on her, and then run. Because the one thing she does not have is a very good escape method. Now, her circle ability it is a CC ability, and enemies that walk over it will be slowed. They'll basically lose control of their character, like they're slipping on the ice, and it can fuck them up pretty bad. And it will increase, it'll increase your movement speed when you walk across it as Skadi. So you can kind of use that to get a little speed boost out of there, but it doesn't really take you very far, so it's kind of better to just lob it at the enemy instead of boosting yourself. Because it is a pretty small aura, and it just doesn't really help get away from things that much. I know, I've tried. You can increase, if you can get it to line up properly, which is extremely difficult to do, but you can increase Calder's speed as well. So if Calder runs over it, he'll get a speed boost from it as well. And he can maybe reach his target quicker. But I would still probably just use Circle to screw up an enemy and make him slide all around everywhere. Then just sit Calder on him, throw the spear while they're discombobulated. You do all this in rapid succession, and then just start basic attacking. But unless the enemy is at low health, I would 110% recommend saving your triangle ability or your fourth ability for an absolute like desperate moment. Like don't just go out there and just be like, oh, he's at full health, okay, fourth ability, and root them to the ground, because you're not really going to get a whole lot of success with that. It can work sometimes, but it's kind of just down to luck and good timing. Maybe you have a bunch of teammates around and you feel comfortable, but on average, if you're playing with randoms and you don't really have a team that can capitalize on it, I honestly wouldn't even try it. She's mostly a backline character. I would describe her as a sniper. As you can see, I kind of just went in to try to secure the kill on the Cthulhu, which was a terrible idea. I ended up getting killed because of it. So try to stick in the back line, because don't do what I just did. That was a terrible, terrible thing to do. So I would try to stay in the back line, because you don't really have a good get in, get out ability like Medusa does. So, and you can't really escape very easily. What you're good at is coming at them from the side, maybe flanking them, sticking with the team, staying in the back line where not too many characters can get to you. However, if somebody like Loki or Hades or anyone who can teleport can get in the back line, there's really not much you can do other than just use your third ability or your circle ability and discombobulate them, and maybe use it to escape and sick your wolf on them. That's about the best advice I can give. Maybe in that regard, if it's like a life or death situation and the enemy is in your back line and you're about to die, maybe you could use Calder, like you use your fourth ability to root them to the ground, lob your spear at them, and run away if all those things are off cooldown. Beads work really nice with her as well, so if you have beads, you can put that on. Purification beads, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, which is a relic. I use Magic Shell, personally. I'm using that in this one. You could also use Belt of Frenzy, I guess. It does work. A lot of people tell me, Belt of Frenzy doesn't really work good with Skadi. But I've found quite a bit of success with it. So don't knock it until you try it. It can definitely work under the right situations, but primarily try to stick with beads, because if you get caught, or maybe if another Skadi gets you, oh, it's your ass. You're fucked. If you don't have beads, she'll just kill you. Because the biggest threat to a Skadi, in my opinion, is another Skadi or a really, really, really good Loki. Because we all know Loki players, you're either the best or you're the worst. It's just kind of how it goes. Which I can assure you, once we do get to Loki in this series, it's going to be a hell of a hard time for me. So don't expect me to be a very good Loki, because I don't even have him unlocked yet, and I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. So it's, yeah, maybe I'll do some outtakes with that. But anyway, Skadi is definitely a character that's not supposed to be in the front lines. You definitely want to be in the furthest back as possible, because her spear, while yes it does high damage, it has a very slow projectile speed, at least at low level, and it has a low rate of fire. It's a lot slower than any bow, so I would definitely recommend putting like things on it that give it, or putting items on that will increase your firing speed or projectile speed. Putting a little bit of crits on it, that helps me a lot. A lot of raw damage works a lot as well. So, would I recommend Skadi? Yes, she is a definite solid character. If you love Hunter, if you love being the pro stalker, you definitely need to give her a try. So, hit that like button and that subscribe button, and let me know which god you want me to review next. And I will see you guys later.